Hey everyone, and welcome. I'm Aki.
And I'm Haru.
We are so excited because today we're going on this super fun adventure to find the secret and honestly kind of cute rules your brain uses for money.
We promise this is going to feel way less like a scary spreadsheet and a whole lot more like taking care of a happy little garden.
Okay, so let's jump right in with a quick question for you. Would you drive, say, 20 minutes out of your way just to save $5? Think about it. Got an answer? Tuck it away for a second because we are about to solve this fun little puzzle about how our brains make these choices. Okay, so this is a classic puzzle from the totally brilliant work of Tversky and Kahneman. So check this out. Scenario 1, you're buying a jacket for $125 and a calculator for $15. The person at the counter tells you, hey, you can get that exact same calculator for $10 at our other store. It's just a 20-minute drive. Now, scenario 2. This time, the jacket is cheap, only $15, but the calculator is the expensive thing at $125. But you can still save that same $5 on the calculator. Now, here's the wild part. Most people, and I mean most people, say they would totally make that drive in the first scenario, but not in the second one, even though you're saving the exact same amount of money. What's up with that?
Whoa, hold on a second, Haru. That doesn't really make any sense, right? I mean, $5 is $5. And that is the perfect example of what we're talking about today. See, your brain isn't this perfect, flawless calculator. No way. It's more like a storyteller, and it has this secret set of rules it follows to decide what makes a good story for your money.
All right, so let's pull back the curtain and peek inside your brain's secret playbook, shall we? We are about to unpack all the magical and sometimes kind of mischievous rules it uses to write your money story, and it does it all without you even realizing it.
Exactly. And the very first rule is it is all about how you dress up the choice. Seriously, think of it like this. A $5 saving can feel like a happy little discount puppy that you just want to scoop up and cuddle, right? But a $5 fee? Oh, that feels like a big, scary surcharge monster that you gotta run away from, even if the final price is exactly the same.
Oh, I absolutely love that analogy. And your brain deciding if it's seeing a cute puppy or a scary monster actually has a name. It's called the framing effect. The psychologists we mentioned, Tversky and Kahneman, they showed that how a choice is presented or framed can completely change our decision. So would you frame something as a potential gain? We feel all safe and cozy. But frame it as a potential loss? Our brain immediately wants to avoid it, even if the outcome is identical. It's wild.
Okay, so for our next secret rule, I want you to imagine there's this little gnome living in your brain. He's a little grumpy, but he's also super protective of your financial garden. And this little guy, he has one very, very strong opinion about how things should be.
And that grumpy gnome is just the perfect way to describe something called loss aversion. This is a huge idea from something called prospect theory, and what it means is that our little brain gnome hates losing a berry from his garden about twice as much as he enjoys finding a new one. This is exactly why losing $100 feels so much worse than how good it feels to gain $100. It's this really powerful force that can make us way too cautious. Okay, that makes so much sense. And that brings us to our next big idea. Aki, have you ever noticed how money you get from a tax refund feels like fun money, for treats, but money from your paycheck feels like serious money that's only for bills? It's all just money, right? Or is it?
That is such a game-changing question, Haru. And the reason for that is our final secret rule. It's called mental accounting. So it turns out our brain doesn't see all money as being the same, or fungible, as the economists call it. Instead, we sort our money into these different little mental jars. We've got a vacation jar, a bills jar, maybe an emergency jar. And this is why saving $5 on a little $15 calculator feels like a massive win for our small stuff jar. But saving that same $5 on a big $125 item, it barely even makes a dent in our minds.
Okay, so we've learned all the secret rules our little gnome plays by. Now for the really fun part. Let's figure out how to work with him so we can turn our little money gardens into these big, beautiful, flourishing forests of wealth.
Ooh, I am so ready. Tell me more. This brings us to a super important idea from a financial planner named Carl Richards. He calls it the behavior gap. And basically what he means is there's often this big gap between how well our investments could do and how well they actually do because, well, we're human. We get emotional, and sometimes we do, let's be honest, kind of dumb things with our money.
Exactly. Just look at this chart. That top line shows what the market could potentially give you over time if you just left it alone. But then there's the average investor's growth, which is almost always lower. And why is that? Well, it's our grumpy gnome again, that loss aversion. He panics during the market's little mood swings and makes us sell when things look scary. And on the flip side, our excitement makes us buy when everyone's feeling euphoric. That gap, that's the wealth we lose just because of our feelings.
So this is the million-dollar question, right? How do we protect our precious money gardens from our own emotional weather? How do we outsmart our own brains and finally close that behavior gap? Well, my friends, it is time for some power-ups.
Okay, our first power-up is something called hedonic framing. Just think of it like you're arranging a happiness bouquet for your brain. The idea is to take all your small losses and bundle them together into one little rain cloud, so you only feel the sting once. But for your small wins, oh, you let every single one of those shine like its own little star. And what about the big wins? You celebrate them one by one to really savor all that joy. I love that so much. Arranging our feelings to feel better about our money. Okay, for our final section, we are giving you the ultimate cheat codes. These tips are going to turn all this knowledge into your very own financial superpower. Let's go.
Let's do this. Okay, superpower number 1, use framing to your advantage. So when your investments are down, don't think of it as a loss. Reframe it. Just tell yourself, oh, the market is just having a moody day. It really helps keep that grumpy gnome from freaking out. Next, and this is probably the most powerful tool of all, automate. Just like Carl Richards suggests, set up automatic transfers for your savings and investments. It's like putting your garden on a smart sprinkler system. It totally bypasses all the emotional drama. Then remember to focus on what you can actually control. You can't control the market's weather, but you can control planting the seeds. So focus on saving consistently. And always remember the wisdom from Morben Housel. Plan on your plan not going according to plan. Having a little cushion for surprises is key. And finally, make mental accounting your best friend. Start treating your savings like a precious gift that you are sending to your amazing future self. Trust me, they are going to thank you for it.
And that is our explainer for today. We just want to leave you with this one final thought. You know, true wealth isn't really about having the flashiest car or the most expensive things. It's about creating peace and freedom and feeling the quiet joy of watching your own beautiful garden grow. Thank you so much for joining us.